Hi everyone, welcome to AI Biospark. I have been a little quiet for the last few months, and a few people actually reached out to ask if everything was okay. Everything is fine. I was just busy with something that I think a lot of you will relate to. If you work in applied biology, which I assume you do since you're on my channel, let's say in microbiology or bioprocessing or bioinformatics or data-driven roles in industrial sectors like energy, oil and gas, waste-to-value products, bio-based technology, or even in pharma. And for whatever reason, you're exploring new roles right now, and you're finding that the job market feels harder than it used to be, then this video is for you. So, I stepped back from posting on Bioinformatics Byte session because I wanted to fully experience the current job market and give my 100%, not as a coach, not as a content creator, but as a full-time job seeker, actively applying, interviewing, and making real decisions. At the same time, I was relocating from Canada to the USA and asking myself some honest questions about what kind of roles actually made sense for me at this stage of my career. And I'll be honest, there were moments where I genuinely wondered if I was doing something wrong with my application, with my resume. Even with years of experience across biotech, in microbiology, bioprocessing, bioinformatics, that doubt still crept in, and that was humbling. Going through this without filters, without shortcuts, and without a safety net gave me a very real, ground-level view of how hiring actually works right now for applied biology roles. Now, one of the biggest things I noticed is that hiring in applied biology hasn't changed in a simple way. It's become more layered. Yes, techniques still matter. Keywords still matter. If your resume doesn't make it past automated screening, none of the rest matters. And I'll talk more about that in an upcoming episode where I walk through how I approached my resume. But once you clear that round of ATS screening and once a human actually looks at your profile, something else becomes far more important. They're trying to understand where your work actually lived, what you were brought in to fix, and what changed because you were there. What surprised me the most is that many of us are doing some solid, meaningful work, but it's not always obvious how to translate that into a language hiring managers immediately understand. And that's where storytelling makes a real difference in getting through that different stages of interview process. It's no longer enough to list what you can do. You have to show how your biology connects to decision, outcomes, or values. You need clarity for systems and clarity for humans. I have worked across lab-based and data-driven roles, so I have seen both sides of how biology shows up in industry. Now, this mini-series is simply me sharing what actually helped me practically. Things like refining resumes and cover letters, using LinkedIn with intention rather than noise, and realizing that a 20-minute coffee chat gave me more clarity than weeks of scrolling job boards. I'll also talk about writing and using AI tools thoughtfully, not to replace thinking, but to reduce stress and cognitive overload during the process. All of this comes from my own experience navigating a job search in a very different and much tougher economy. Looking back, everything that helped me fits into three ideas: signal, strategy, and story. Signal, being visible in the right context and not everywhere. Strategy, applying with intention instead of noise. It's always quality over quantity. Story, clearly connecting your scientific work with impact. Nothing fancy, just clarity. At some point, I realized I wasn't just job hunting. I was figuring out how I wanted my work to show up in the world. In the next episode, I'll talk about LinkedIn. Not how to go viral, honestly, I don't know that, but how small, thoughtful changes help me position my work more clearly in applied microbiology, bioinformatics, and bioprocessing roles. LinkedIn was actually my first real step in this job search. And if this phase feels slow, quiet, or uncertain, it doesn't mean you're off track. It just means you're in transition, and that matters. You're not alone. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.